Thanks to those much calmer conditions. Let's go ahead and start with our traffic maps, and then we'll showcase a live look outside. At 6:08, we are looking at full freeway speeds, steady speeds across the entire region. You want to look out for a stalled car that may slow things down around the La Presa, Spring Valley area. It looks like it's blocking the center divided in Spring Valley on the 125 right before you hit Chamishaw Road. We're also tracking a crash. This is on the right shoulder in Escondido on the 78 West right at Nordal, so just in between San Marcos and Escondido along the 78. I was trying to see if we can get a glimpse of it from Oceanside as well as Escondido. If you're traveling in from the East County, head west about 3 to 7 minutes on the 94, the 8, as well as the 52. And then here's what it looks like coming in from the South Bay headed north. Steady speeds at about 65, 70 miles per hour. It'll take you about 10 to 15 minutes to travel northbound, and under 5 minutes full span of the Coronado Bridge as you make your way from downtown towards the old toll booths. 6:09 is the time. Let's go ahead and pull up those border wait times and see what we're working with this morning. About an hour and a half or so coming in from San Ysidro's port of entry. Not too much better coming in from Otay Mesa, is about an hour 20 at last check. Back to you guys.
On the dot, what's going on?
Oh my, have I been enjoying these cool temperatures and the rain. Oh, it was so nice being in bed yesterday when the rain came down. I must say, thought of you guys, but oh man, I was so happy to just be at home. 6:19 is the time. Here's a live look outside. A stark contrast in comparison to 24 hours ago. Dry conditions are leading to a pretty pleasant drive as you get your Wednesday going. Hump day halfway through the week. 8:05 in both directions. Right side of your screen is that northbound drive, and you could see that it is now a parade of brake lights as folks exit National City, making their way up towards the Mission Valley North Park area. Continue to look out for a stalled car in the center divide in Spring Valley on the 125. And then we have a crash that we're continuing to track, blocking the right shoulder in Escondido on the 78. I'm still trying to see if there's any slowing because of that incident, but it looks like we're still at full freeway speeds in both directions as you make your way in and out of the San Marcos area. Travel times are still in really good shape. We're seeing a lot of green, and that's what we love to see when it comes to our travel times and our speeds. Under 10 minutes right now for all those drives headed west in from the East County. Average speeds about 65, 70 miles per hour. And here's what it looks like. Still rolling pretty smooth coming in from the South Bay. All right, 6:20 is the time. Coming up, served communities. But will it be enough to power a shift in EV purchases? I'm breaking down where those new charger stations are going and who they're meant to serve in today's On the Move report. Remains a priority. The city actually says that the state building code now requires that EV chargers in new parking lots are required for newly built facilities, and that's going to lead to more EV stations across the city. All right, well, you can stream our North County. Just a heads up, we're tracking a crash that is causing slowing coming inbound from Carlsbad. The right lane is blocked right after Cannon Road on the 5 southbound. You could actually see that it is now causing a little bit of slowing, tapping the brakes all the way towards that incident. And then we have this crash blocking the right shoulder in the Mount Hope area on the 805 North right before you hit Home Avenue. So this is going to plug things up for anyone headed out of National City or Chula Vista. Stop and go traffic all the way to about Plaza Boulevard. Looks like Sky 8 is from the 54, full span of the Coronado Bridge, 3 minutes to get you towards the city of Coronado. And then if you're traveling westbound in from the East County, not too bad on the 94 and the 8, but we are starting to see some slowing now build coming in from Santee towards Tierra Santa, about a 10-minute ride at last check.
The path.
It's all the photos right after they get their grooming done, and they're just like in pristine. The fur is just in pristine condition. Such cuties there, and they're posing again just so perfectly for the camera. 6:50 is the time. I want to start things off on the 805 because that's where we're tracking a crash that may slow things down for you. We're also tracking one in the North County, and this is on the 5 South. So just a heads up, if you're traveling in from Carlsbad or Oceanside, you can expect slowing right at Cannon Road. It looks like the right lane is blocked due to that crash there. And then we're also tracking another accident, as I mentioned, on the 805. This is right in the Mount Hope area before you hit Home Avenue, slowing things down all the way down to Plaza Boulevard.
Different crashes
lovely.
by like the early 5 o'clock hour. I hope things are a little quieter this morning.
I mean, I followed my own advice. I just stayed home.
Exactly,
I stayed home and I avoided the roads. 7:02 is the time. Let's go ahead and get a glimpse of a drive out of the South Bay. This is the 805 coming in from Division. I wanted to highlight this drive specifically because this is where we're tracking an incident on the 805 at Home Avenue. It has since cleared, but unfortunately the slowing has not. And right now we're tapping the brakes all the way down to about Plaza Boulevard. We're also tracking another crash. So if you're hopping on the 94 in from the 805, or maybe you're just doing the full drive from Lemon Grove all the way towards downtown on the 94, you want to look out for a stalled car. And this is, again, right. Oh, this is actually the 8, rather, not the 94, and that's just west of the 805. And then we have this one, a crash blocking the right lane in Carlsbad. That's on the 5 South right after Cannon Road. That's going to slow things down right at the 78 as you make your way southbound this morning. Back to you guys. I feel like this is the link, you guys.
I got a quick question for
everyone just participate, submit an entry, and give me your prize if you win it. 7:12 is the time. Let's go ahead and start things off in the South Bay. This is coming in from National City and Chula Vista. We have a little bit of slowing on the 805 due to a crash on the right shoulder, and this is in the Mount Hope area on the 805 North right before you hit Home Avenue, slowing things down to Plaza. So we're already slowing this time of day for that stretch. You can tackle on additional timing because of that incident. That's likely going to cause a lot of brake tapping that direction. Look out for another crash. This one coming in from Granite Hills as you make your way through Granite Hills on the 8 westbound. It's causing stop and go all the way to Greenfield, and it looks like the left lane, also known as the fast lane, is currently blocked as a result. We are still tracking this crash in the North County. This is going to slow things down coming in from Carlsbad or even Oceanside. If you take the 5 South, this incident right after Cannon Road on the southbound end. Let's go ahead and pull up some of those travel times because we are still at a pretty slow drive coming in from the San Isidro and National City neighborhoods. Full span at the Coronado Bridge, about 5 minutes at last check. Here's what it looks like if you're traveling in from the East County headed west, 10 to about 15 minutes or so on the 94 and the 52. But coming in from the College area towards Mission Valley, easy drive, about 5 minutes on the 8 west. Net served communities, but will it be enough to power a shift in EV purchases? I'm breaking down where those new charging stations are going and who they're meant to serve. That's in today's On the Move. It's a priority. The city says the state building code now requires EV chargers in new parking lots for newly built facilities. And of course, that's going to lead to more EV stations across the city. All right, start off in the North County where we are tracking a crash blocking the right lane, also known as a slow lane, out in Carlsbad. And this is on the 5 southbound right after Cannon Road. We have another crash that we're tracking in the East County. This one's on the 8, causing stop and go traffic all the way to Greenfield. And this is on the 8 westbound before you hit East Main Street. Let's go ahead and pull up those travel times and see what we're dealing with right now out of the East County. Pretty slow, 15-minute ride. This is typically about 7 minutes, so you can look at double the time to get you westbound in from Lemon Grove as well as Santee. CBS8.com is where you can find more updates. So yeah, hopefully you are keeping your slowing specifically out of the Carlsbad area. Just a heads up, we had an earlier crash blocking the right lane. It's still causing some slowing coming in from Oceanside all the way down to Carlsbad. So you're going to be late if you got to get somewhere on time and you haven't left early. Just keep that in mind, especially if you have to, let's say, catch a flight over at San Diego International Airport. There is some slowing on the 5 South starting at the 78. We're also seeing some slow and go coming in from East Main Street, stop and go all the way to about Greenfield because of an earlier crash that was blocking the left lane, also known as a fast lane. We're from Oceanside to Encinitas, about a 30-minute ride for you guys. Escondido down to the 163 merge, about 25 minutes. And let's go ahead and pull up the South Bay really quick. Again, anywhere between 25 to 35 mile per hour speeds on the 5 and the 805, 25 to 32 minutes for both of those drives out of San Isidro as well as National City. Back Street Division, so you could actually see the crawl that it was causing coming inbound from National City. So again, 5 right at Division, we have some slow and go due to that crash, and then we have a couple of crashes, 2 on the 8. We have 1 in Mission Valley on the 8 West before you hit the 805, and then we have another crash right on the 8 in the heart of Mission Valley, and this is after Taylor Street. Let's go ahead and take a look at travel times because we're still at a pretty significant crawl coming in from the East County. CBS8.com is where you can find more traffic and weather alerts.
Our roads look like it's, what, Wednesday, halfway through the week?
Halfway through the week, hump day. 8:01 is the time. I wanted to showcase this drive specifically because we are seeing thick traffic out there on the 5 due to a crash. So this is at 28th, and this is towards the Coronado Bridge on-ramp coming in from National City. So here, time it where you're off when it's like the most dramatic weather day.
Yeah.
I don't want to say it's payback, but you know.
I felt like it was. It was personal.
Oh, okay. I will say I was so cozy in bed, drinking like a coffee.
Oh, you deserve it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was great. But it looks like we are looking at, again, a very stark contrast this morning, this time of day. 5 in both directions. It's dry, but that's not taking away from the fact that we're really slow out there. So 805 causing stop and go traffic all the way to Jackson Drive. So that's a big stretch of slowing that we're seeing on the 8 right now. And then we have another crash. So once you get past that incident, you're tapping the brakes again pretty heavily near Marina Boulevard, all due to a crash in the center divide right after Taylor Street. That crash is on the eastbound end, but it's still causing a lot of slowing for those who are headed westbound towards that 5 connector. All right, let's go ahead and pull up those travel times because we are still slow and go coming in from the East County headed west, 8 to 20 minutes right now. Remember, we have that crash right near Taylor and also near the 805. So again, just stop and go, pretty much full span of the 8 from the 5 all the way towards that 805 connector. Eric? EV chargers to underserved communities. In this edition of On the 8, we'll talk about if it's not enough to power a shift, and I'm breaking down where these new charging stations are going and who they're meant to serve in today's On the Move report. A priority, the city actually says that the state building code now requires EV chargers in new parking lots for newly built facilities, and that will lead to more EV stations overall across the city. We're tracking a 2-car crash. This is at Carmel Mountain. This is slowing things down as you make your way down to about Ted Williams coming in from the Rancho Bernardo and Rancho Penasquitos neighborhoods. We're also tracking another crash, this one blocking the center divide in Mission Valley on the 8 eastbound right at Taylor. It's on the eastbound end, but notice how it's causing most of the slowing for those who are headed westbound towards Marina Boulevard direction in that 5 connector. CBSA.com is where you can find more traffic and weather alerts. Escondido, as you make your way towards Nordal, maybe you're coming in from Escondido headed towards San Marcos. You're looking at a lot of slowing as you make your way on the 78 west, passing the 15. We have 2 big crashes on the 15 right now. We have one in the center divide out in the Rainbow area. This is on the 15 south before you hit Rainbow Valley. People who are either traveling to or from the Temecula area, headed north and south. And then we have another one closer to the 78 connector. And this one's on the right shoulder in Escondido on the 15 north before you hit the 78, slowing things down to Valley Parkway. All right, let's go ahead and pull up those travel times. We are still pretty slow and go coming in from the 5, the 15, and the 78. And then finally here is your travel in from the South Bay. We're still slow and go coming in from National City headed towards downtown. 25 minutes overall. That's our slowest drive coming in from the South Bay. And then we're seeing a little bit improvement, but still tapping the brakes quite heavily. 37-mile-per-hour speeds coming in from San Isidro as you make your way up to the 94.
55 midweek. Just about to round out